Probably the most powerful tool you can master in Excel is the cut, copy and paste commands. Now effectively cut and copy are pretty similar. The difference is that one will cut, therefore remove from the page, whereas the other will copy, and then we use paste with either cut to then paste the item into its new location, or paste with copy to then paste a copy of the item into its new location. We're going to explore a few of those just to get you going and see how the real power works in Excel. Let's look at the basic mechanics first. Using the working file, cut, copy and paste. We have here a list of different bits of text, and what we're going to do is effectively look at taking a copy and then pasting somewhere else. So if I take the cell Mavis, I need to copy this cell. We could go up to the home ribbon and choose the copy option here. And you see you get little marching ants around. Now to lose those marching ants, you just press escape on the keyboard and that effectively clears the clipboard. Now we can also copy her by right clicking and copy. And you see we get the same little marching ants. So again, escape. Or we can do Control C for copy. And again, you get your little marching ants. That's the real helpful bit in Excel. Any other program, when you copy something, you're not really sure you've copied it until you paste. In Excel, you know you've copied it because you get your little marching ants going round and round and round the selection, whether that be one cell as we have here. If I escape that, we can actually highlight a number of cells and do a copy. And you see we still get the marching ants around that area of cells. So escape, let's go back to Mavis. So we're going to copy Mavis. All we then need to do is move where we'd like Mavis to now be pasted. Let's say, for example, go here to I2, and then we can paste. Now, the keyboard shortcut is Control V, and you see that Mavis appears. If I then move to I3, Mavis is still on my clipboard. I can paste by clicking paste. We could move down to I4, right click and paste. Now there are lots of little paste options that we'll explore shortly, but the main thing here is the first one is just to paste what you've got on the clipboard. Paste and Mavis appears. So we can Control V, we can right click, we can use the toolbar button on the home ribbon. Now all the time that we're doing all this pasting and moving around, Mavis is still on the clipboard. There is one other quick paste, I'll call it, in Excel, which I really like. We select where we'd like to go and we simply press enter. And you see that that also pastes Mavis in. It's great if you just want to move things quickly, because we can use it with cut. Let's take Robert here, for example. If I want to cut, slightly different keyboard shortcut, Control X. Or we can use the scissors from the home ribbon, or we can right click and cut. All have the same effect, and at the moment it just looks the same as a copy. But the difference is if we move across here, and let's do the quick paste, which is just enter. Robert gets pasted, but you can see he's gone from B4 because we cut him and we pasted him. That's cut and paste. We could do the same with 43. We cut, we move where we want to go, and enter for paste. Nice and quick and easy. Now that's just using one cell at a time. We could take all of those, Control C. So I've got all of those cells there. Let's go into another sheet called paste. Come across to here. Now I don't need to highlight the same number of cells. You can see here I've got 13 cells highlighted. I come into paste. I don't need to highlight the same number. I just need to tell it where to start. So I'm going to tell it to start at E3 and then paste. And you'll see everything appears in the same relative order. If I were to move over here and paste, it starts with Mavis and then I have the same gap. 3 to Sally, 3 to the date and 2 to this eggplant. We know why those little hashes have appeared, because there's a date in there and the column isn't wide enough to display it. Multiple cells can be copied and then pasted, and you don't have to figure out the new paste area. You simply start with a single cell and it pastes everything relatively from that point on. That would work horizontally as well as vertically. Now there's one other thing I'd like to show you with Excel's copy and paste. If you copy a single cell, so let's take Mavis again. Let's go into the paste sheet and scroll down a little. So I've got Mavis on the clipboard, a single cell with Mavis in. I then highlight any number of cells and then paste, and I can use the Excel quick paste, the straightforward enter. Because I had a single cell and I've now highlighted multiple cells, it pastes that single value into every cell in that range.